Sugar Ray Robinson.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight,
All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
Todd is...
These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. You can't get out of the way. That's straight. Nice counter shot. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Miss with that jab. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Punch, counter punch. There was so much hype surrounding this match. I wonder if it can actually live up to the hype.
This is not just hype. We are in for something special tonight. What an arena, what an atmosphere, what a build-up.
You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
He misses with that jab. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. That counter shot lands. Good counter punching. They both want the knockout. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Catch and shoot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important.
And there's the bell to start round 2. After that last round, something has got to change.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. How about that time counter shot? Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
Counter punch is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Well done with that counter shot. These punches coming from every angle. The perfect counter lands. There's a counter shot. Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. That bell could not have come soon enough for this guy.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
On to the third. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
They exchange punches. And he just missed with that left jab. These two fighters are made for one another. Nice counter shot. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And that jab just missed with the left hand. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
What you've got to do, Toddy, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in a guess.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Wow, you know what? I've been in fight.
There's the bell for round 4. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Perfect counter shot. Nope, that hook won't score. Both men step back for just a moment. And he scores with the counter. Beautiful counter punch. He threw a punch and just got countered. They have no respect for each other's punching power. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Defense is not an option for these two. Beautiful counter shot. A lot of effort being exerted here. Those counter punches have to hurt. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something. And there's the bell for round 5. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Nice counter. Good counter punch. You've heard the phrase, finding a second win. I don't think I need to tell you which one of these fighters needs to find it.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
That counter punch caught him clean. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Nice counter punch. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. That left hook missed. Straight right just misses. His stamina is off the charts. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
Wow.
On to the 6th round. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up. Just
Pensacola's finest is down. And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove, and down he goes.
even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
Apparently, it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into fight again, to show your fitness and determination. Maximum respect.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
He's got the advantage halfway through the round.
The corners must be so happy. Down to a T, play the plan out to a T. If they can pick up momentum and do this over and over again, they've got it.
Good counter punch. Perfect punch. Beautiful counter shot. That one will count. Can't score with that hook again. It's been all one-way traffic with just 10 seconds to go in the round. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. You've got to wonder how big of a factor that knockdown. Here we go. It's round 7. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Nice counter. The straight right just misses. Well done with that counter shot. We're at the halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter shot. How about that time counter shot? You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you're in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters...
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down to who... And we enter the 8th round. How much is left in their tank after last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Well done with that counter shot. You'd like to see more jabs. Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. That counter punch caught him clean. Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
When you have a fighter that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Holding nothing back here in the round. How about that time counter shot? Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Nice counter shot. Well done with that. Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
I've got to see that again.
Well, it's go back to the drawing board time, a unanimous decision victory.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened, a unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan, what a result.
How about this venue, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Todd Grisham, and we are live here at the one-of-a-kind Empire Fight Camp. Next to me is Johnny Nelson.
Looking forward to this one, Todd.
It's time for our... This is Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican legend, the middleweight, the super middleweight, the light heavyweight who fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico. Roy Jones Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of
An open-air outdoor stadium. The time has finally arrived. These two men have been jawing at each other for months. The talking is finally over. Now it's time to fight. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Nice counter shot. Beautiful counter punch. A big whiff with the right hook. Well, I hope you brought your sunscreen. You're going to need it as we have our main event underneath the bright sunny skies.
Well, Todd, let me explain to you. We're outside. Nobody can turn the temperature down. Nobody can turn the sun down. When that sun's beating on you, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're getting hit, when you're getting hurt, there's no cool fan that's dropping in there. This is where it's real fighting, fight on fight.
Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Swing and a miss with the jab. Missing with the hook. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. They've got the momentum. They've got the advantage. How do they carry that? Here we go. Round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round. Everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punch. This fighter's completely content to sit back and let you make the first move. That's where they thrive.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Punch, counter punch. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. These two are the perfect dance partners.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Perfect counter shot. Another scoring shot there. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counterpuncher smart.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. He is down big time on the scores.
Needs a knockout without a...
Let's get it started in round 3. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Catch and shoot. A perfect counter lands. They are not going to let this one go to the judges. Got him there. They exchange punches. Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. What you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Canelo Alvarez just got rocked in a big way. And apparently no rest for the weary. Thought about taking a breath, but instead, they're in there throwing bombs again.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for the... On to the 4th we go. After that last round, something has got to change.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
No rest for the weary. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. Do you know the amazing fights at a middleweight are ridiculous? That is what writes our history books.
We're at the halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. Do you believe what we are seeing? Beautiful counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
Wow, it was like 2 different leagues.
There's the bell to start round 5. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
No rest for the weary. Roy Jones Jr. in trouble.
What?
No, we don't see a knockdown.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. We're
very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes. This is the beginning of round 6. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Straight right just misses. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
Fighters landing in these exchanges, judges going to have a tough job.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. He threw a punch and just got countered. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to go down? Both men step back for just a moment. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the best.
Every second, every minute of this fight.
Round 7, here we go. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
And there's no doubt about it, as we see it again, that body shot did them in.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me your ball.
know, this fight will continue, but how can they get back into this bout?
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your ego's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
Pretty good start the first half of this round.
Perfect game plan. The thing is, can anybody figure out what to do to change this? It's a perfect start.
Good counter punching. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. It's been all one-way traffic with just 10 seconds to go in the round. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Beaten, bruised, and battered, but somehow he's still in it. And we enter the 8th round. Is this the beginning of the end after 2 knockdowns last round?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this fight?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Nice counter. You'd like to see more jabs. We knew his chin would get tested in this fight, and it failed him miserably.
You're right, Todd.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are right.
So they'll make it up, and this fight continues.
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in round once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Another win, another unanimous decision victory.
Unanimous. You know what? Smarts that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. At every round in the bag, there was no argument, no discussion, no mistake. It was so obvious.
Pick a side,
I will. Let's fight.
Let her back into the fight that round. That's her round. You're starting to make me...
And box.
Okay, I get it. Now you're switching off. You're starting to make mistakes.
Do your business.
to go back out there. I need you to win this round.
And box.
Jab, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now stick a hook on the end.
And time.
Okay, now you're switching off. I need you to go back out there. I need you to win this round. Get your mind back. Get your focus back.
Okay, I'm happy. I like that round.
Box.
That's it. Step it up with the jab, though. Step it up with the jab, and then look for your power shot.
Okay, let's reset. Switch your stance.
One, two, three, four, five. Are you okay? Time.
You switched off completely. Get out there and switch off.
Let's fight.
Clever, smart, what you're doing. doing? You've switched off completely. Get your mind back on the job. That's a terrible round.
Let's do it.
And again, until he's forward, bring it up. Kick up the uppercut. Kick up the uppercut. Counter with that left hook.
Okay, let's reset. Switch stance.
Roll under it and then back again.
Okay, let's reset. Switch stance.
Bang!
Okay, focus. Look, big breaths. Big, deep breaths. Calm yourself down. Calm.
Let's do it.
Nope, don't load up. Don't try and blow it head off. Come on.
Boo.